welcome to the World Warriors of Capcom Cup Player Showcase. I'm Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen. This is the series of video where we discuss all 32 qualifiers for the Capcom Cup, which is going to take place at the Sony PlayStation Experience on the weekend of December 5th through 6th. If you guys don't know, want to learn more about the Capcom Pro Tour and Capcom Cup, you can check out the introduction video that we made here on this channel, youtube.com/Capcom Fighters TV. But of course, as I mentioned, this is the series where we talk about the players. And today, who do we have?
Poongko. We will talk about Poongko from Korea.
That's right. He was a player that I remember. He was the first player that people started noting from Korea. And then all of a sudden, Infiltration just came over and just kind of blew everyone out of the water. But I remember, like, when Street Fighter 4 first came out, it was this vanilla Ryu that was, like, dazzling people with the crazy corner pressure and FADCs and all sorts of things.
Bigger combos than most people. Yeah, he was actually doing FADC combos back in the day, which nobody did.
Right. And so, and then since then, he's just kind of remained in this static place of being known as this crazy wild player because he went to Seth and he stuck with Seth for a very, very long time.
Yes.
And, you know, to be honest with you, the way that he was playing before, this kind of wild style, I felt like made him on and off.
You know, he called himself Gamble Seth. Mm-hmm. That's how he described his own play. And in fact, earlier today, I went back to go watch how he did at EVO 2011. He got third place. And I wanted to see it, you know, just to remind myself how he used to play. And it was just a mile a minute. Whatever. Craziness. And there was the round that he had, or the match he ended up losing was to Fudo. He lost to Fudo, put it like that, eventual champion. And the way he lost one round was he had a huge life lead. And he just did EX Dragon Punch, like not on Wake Up. He just did it. And he lost. He got ultra punished. And his character Seth had no life at the time. And he died. And it was, okay, that was just it.
Yeah. And
that's Gamble Seth.
What a lot of people didn't even know, too, is because he got third place. So everyone's like, oh my God, Poongko. He almost lost in pools to a T-Hawk. And the T-Hawk wasn't very good in that version of the game. You can actually find this match on YouTube as well. Yeah. So you can find this. He almost loses to a T-Hawk on his way to getting third place. You know, that's the kind of player that he used to be.
It was very volatile, yeah, but you're right. Used to be is correct. In Ultra Street Fighter 4, Seth was changed a bit. Some of his shenanigans were lessened a little bit. Some of his sort of solid mid-range stuff was improved a little bit. And that has really changed, and of course delayed wake up in general makes the sort of vortex heavy mix-up stuff a little bit worse.
Right.
So he had to redesign his play style, and it was tough for him at first, but in the past year, I feel like he is one of the most improved players. He got third at EVO, okay? And I still feel like he's one of the most improved players among like the top set of anybody, because he is now, I think he has a strong mid-range game. I think he is much stronger defensively. I think up close his mix-ups are still strong without being crazy. So I really feel like he has become a much stronger player.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I feel like this is a theme for a couple of players that have qualified here. The one that comes to my mind is Tokido is another one, right? Is they're both players that were so involved in the set play, as they call it, as it's become known in the community, is when they knock you down, they have the standard mix-ups, and you know, the delayed wake-up in Ultra kind of threw that for a loop. Yeah. You know, it did its job, right?
Exactly.
It did its job, and rather than trying to find another character that they could go back to play that style with, you know, players like Poongko and Tokido really just said, you know what, I'm going to examine this part of my game that I've been ignoring this whole entire time and really learn how to play it. And in a way, it's really helped them become much stronger players. And
again, people who had made EVO top 8s before.
Right, exactly.
And I agree, they're stronger.
Yeah. And absolutely, Poongko, third place Poongko of EVO, I do not think is even close to being as good as Poongko is right now.
I'll tell you this, if current Poongko went back and had AE Seth, good luck to everybody. That would have been ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. And because like you said, Seth back then, he was Gamble Seth, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes sometimes you're going to flop quad queens against a pair of aces, right? I mean, that's just going to happen sometimes, and you're going to win.
Yeah.
And you're going to get to the top 8, right?
Yeah.
And so that's basically how Poongko kind of survived going through that Evo. But now, like, I feel like if we were going to do Evo, like, let's just say, well, I mean, we don't even have to say Evo 2016. Capcom Cup is coming up.
Indeed.
Poongko is in it.
Yep.
I feel like he has a great chance. I feel like he's very, very strong in this just because of the way that he's playing now. I don't feel like it is a gamble anymore. You know what I mean? It's definitely more attributed to his skill and his reads now.
Well, let's talk about his Ultra Street Fighter 4 accomplishments. Spirit Zero Cup Korea, 2nd place. Korea CPT Qualifier, 2nd place. This is last year. CPT Asia Finals 2014, 4th. Canada Cup 2014, 2nd. Cannes Winter Clash 2015, 1st. 9 States 2015, 2nd. Topanga World League, 5th. Double Elimination CPT Asia Qualifier, 3rd. FFM Rumble, 2nd. Then CPT Asia Finals 2015, which just happened. He got 1st place.
That's right.
In an extremely stacked lineup. It was, as I said, there were qualifiers, as I just mentioned, and he won one of them in order to get there. Many of the best players in East Asia qualified for it, and they played a round robin, and he's the one who came out on top.
Exactly. So that's not even... That round robin takes away even more luck, because then it doesn't even matter what bracket or side of the bracket or who's on your side. He had to play everybody, and he had the most wins going into the Grand Finals day, and he was able to defeat Nemo in Grand Finals. And he had already qualified by points, by the way. Yeah, he was already solidly in there by points, but now he is an official premier event qualifier.
Yeah, exactly. Now, there were some tournaments where that didn't go quite the same. Southeast Asia Majors 2015, 17th place.
Right. But that was a tough tournament.
It certainly was.
That was a rough
It was a very strong tournament.
I mean, being 17th in that tournament, he was probably in the company of some very strong people.
Yeah, I'm not sure who he lost to, but it was probably somebody good. Evo 2015, 49th place.
Right. Out of 2,200 people.
Again, you're right. And then Tokyo Game Show, another one of the most stacked tournaments of the year, 25th place. So even as there are these 1st places, 2nd places, against very strong competition, there are still some times when he is not quite there. But as you can see from the results we were talking about, much more often than not, he is there.
And again, I have so much more confidence in the way that he plays. Now, the match that we're going to watch where he goes up against Nemo, he's not going to really have a chance to play this new, more patient, hone like footsies made set.
Right.
Because it's going against Nemo.
Nemo's going to be moving.
And Nemo's going to be moving a lot. So that's kind of forcing Poongko's hand. But, he's able to do that and able to keep up with him. Yeah.
So when we hop into this, we're not going to start at quite the start because it's a very long video.
It's a 1st to 7.
It is.
Yes.
And these are supposed to be relatively short. These little videos we're doing. So we're gonna boil it down just a little bit. We're gonna start at 1-1.
Right.
So they're even. We thought it would be fair to start at an even situation. A couple games in. All right, let's check it out. You can see Poongko on the right there. That's Nemo on the left.
Yeah,
a little dark there.
Very dark, yeah. But again, starting at 1-1. And as we mentioned, we're not going to be able to see the same kind of, exact set that he's been playing. But you can kind of see already that he's a little more patient.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, he's more confident in the neutral game than he was before. Absolutely.
Oof.
Well, he's usually pretty consistent with combos, so I'll tell you that.
All right, and you know what? Poongko will still be Poongko. He still has those hard read situations.
I mean, you have to do it sometimes, especially with Seth. That's the character.
Exactly. But, that was such a great fierce poke in that situation.
Yeah, he's already found some rhythms on Nemo that most other people can't. Again, this is the 3rd game, so it's not right at the start, but he has seen Nemo. Of course, they've played before, and he's got a pretty good read.
Yeah, I mean, a player like Nemo, his whole goal is to make it so that it's really hard for you to predict. You saw that beautiful stand jab check that Poongko just had. It's really hard to lock down Rolento, let alone Nemo's Rolento.
Absolutely.
And so the fact that Poongko was able to do this, like we said, just really instead of just kind of like just hyper going in and just trying to go for vortex kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Instead, you can see he's still playing pretty.
I feel like he's more patient.
Yeah.
And in fact, earlier Nemo had the EX overhead, and Poongko was outranged it. Like
Right.
Poongko knew the range, and he was just standing there.
Yeah, see, no going for any uppercuts or spinning pile drivers in that situation. Just kind of.
Yeah, and you see him just escape there, that backdash after the overhead.
There we go. And yeah, Seth, I mean, this is one of Seth's advantage, is this mix-up. This is what he has to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's nothing wrong with going for these mix-ups, but
He has the answer.
Yeah.
Now, so many people get messed up by Nemo on that. They let him off the wall, they let him land, and he lands with Ultra as you're trying to chase him down. But Poongko had the reactions and probably the expectation that would come.
Also, another thing, too, is, I mean, Seth just covers a lot of space with that
yeah.
jump fierce. Yeah, very, very good air move. But yeah, great game there from Poongko to take game 3. And as we said, this is a 1-7 set here, so it's not just like he's going to win 2 and then be like, oh, I won. I mean, he's really got to take a lot of these games. And look at that. Great shutdown of the air options from Nemo with that jump strong.
Yeah, throughout this whole set, one of the things that most impressed me was his on-reaction to airs.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm sure there's a lot of expectation in there, too. It's not pure reaction, but that's knowing what to look for. It's a big, important part of this.
I mean, the thing about it, too, is, as we mentioned before, Poongko was kind of a gamble Seth, right? So he was already kind of a crazy kind of player, but one of the strengths of these kind of players is their reaction ability, is that they have that ability to make split-second decisions, and Poongko's basically taking that power for good. He's like turning that strength into something very, very useful for him.
I love that jump spacing. It was a jump spacing that Rolento would have had a tough time dealing with. And now it's brought up close is obviously exactly what he wants. He even has the setup, right?
Yeah.
Like he knows exactly the timing.
Yeah, look at that. That game 4, domination on Poongko's part.
Yeah, and kind of an exasperated sigh and drink of water on Nemo's side over there.
Mm-hmm.
Not something you often see from him. But yeah, I like the patience. I like the spacing. I think he's really done a great job so far. Again, that jump timing, that jump spacing, not easy to deal with.
Yeah, he's just look. Nemo's one of the, as I mentioned, one of the hardest ones to lock down, right? But he has had Nemo in the corner in this really uncomfortable position so many times, and I love that neutral jump forward just to make sure he was as close as possible to get the better block string when he landed. And look at this.
Just blocking it out, focus backdash.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. And great reactions. Just like I said, just all of a sudden, you know what? Oh, he's in the air. Let me get you with this.
Right.
And then pretty much, yeah. Oh, nice escape from Nemo. But yeah, that's it now.
He had to do that FADC for fear of Rolento Ultra 2.
Mm-hmm.
But it also worked as a secondary thing. If Nemo tried to jump out of the way, he was going to get caught by that jump from Seth. It was just a trap.
And if he didn't, then that's exactly what happened. You get just chipped to death, yeah. So Poongko taking 2 games in a row now.
On point with punishes so far.
Yeah, again, Rolento trapped in the corner. It's just something that you just don't see. And then well-timed EX SPD. He hasn't done that a lot.
Oh, that was such a good read. These past few games have been blow-ups.
Yeah. And in ways that aren't typical what you expect to see out of Seth, which is vortex, setup, ambiguous cross-up. It's really been very, very smart reads from Poongko. And, prior to 2015, smart reads is not something that a lot of people would have used to describe Poongko. But you absolutely can now. Again, Nemo.
Comfortable keeping space.
Yeah, Nemo, of course, very strong player.
Of course.
He's not going to go down without a fight. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, the read on the backdash. Ugh. That's a lot of chip, and it's safe at that range, as far as I know, against Seth. -5. So definitely some good stuff from Nemo. As you say, he's not just going to get ripped up.
Yeah, they're both here in this grand finals for a reason. Remember, this was round robin, so
some little mix-ups in spacing and timing there from Poongko when he was going to come in. Not just always jump roundhouse, sometimes jump dive kick.
Right, and you see, going for SPD is a very standard Seth thing, right? But in the matches that we've seen, those two in a row right there were the first time he's pulled that out, really in a long time, and that was not supposed to be an SPD.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh, that was so sick.
There
you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Very strong.
Again. Yeah. When you have the kind of reactions like Poongko does, I mean, gotta take advantage of that for sure. Oh, it's too late.
That's not gonna work.
That thing has no recovery.
Okay. That's a mix-up that Nemo likes to go to. There's no overhead in that situation. It's only the EX actual overhead move. So what he'll do is either EX Stinger then low, like EX Stinger without throwing the knives and then go low,
right? Or
just do the EX overhead. We've already seen Poongko block that a couple of times.
Wow, start of the round, Nemo just goes for slide and Poongko blocks. Playing defense at the start of a round.
Right.
Again,
backdashing away to exactly the spot where he could get that. Oh, man, he's so much better. He's so good.
Yeah, it's like if you take that gamble, Seth, and now you paste onto it this much more patient, spacing, footsie heavy Seth. Man, it's so scary now. Yeah, and like I said, it's something that I love seeing so much. Just the growth that Poongko has had. It's fantastic to watch. You know? If you just go back and watch some of his old videos, like you said you did, right?
Did.
So, and it's just so cool to see. Well, he's just trying to chip him out. Air to air seems to be a very common a common clash here in this match. Yeah, again, see, very grounded, staying on the ground, not doing anything crazy.
Yeah, just waiting.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of success waiting at that range with reaction, jump strong, or...
Right.
Wow.
It's like you said, the air-to-air isn't pure reaction.
No.
So in those moments where you see him walking back and forth, that's what he's hoping to come out. So he's ready to jump strong it.
Yeah, it just comes in. That wasn't even very committed pressure. It was just some down jabs turned into something.
What? I think the best way to describe this, honestly, is that Seth's Vortex, he's one of the only people that I know who does that.
It's like, I first saw that with Dashio, but now he's got it too.
The best way to describe him is the Vortex is no longer, the mix-up is no longer his game. It's a tool. You know what I mean? He knows when to use it. Oh, wow.
The spacing.
Yeah, perfect.
I feel like he's had better spacing than Nemo with Nemo's own moves in a few instances so far in the set.
Yeah, not much you can do about that. Again, those air-to-airs.
Ooh. That's pretty sick pressure, to be honest.
Yeah, I was just to say, we see the way Nemo's playing and how crazy Nemo is and how great his pressure is. He's the one who's down 2-4, That's really impressive for Poongko. Yeah, see, a lot more just little jab checks from Poongko.
A lot of that.
That gets everybody.
Oh, yeah. What are you going to do?
That wake up hop back.
Nobody's
perfect. My God, it does so much damage.
Yeah, for sure.
But, I mean, that's obviously also Seth.
Yes, of course.
He's still
less life.
He has more life than before, but he's still one of the lowest. So, if not the tied for the lowest at this point. Ooh, he thought he had the punish.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Things hard to punish, man.
No, yeah, for sure. Well, that was an accidental escape, but I like the idea of it. That he knew that Jump Fierce was coming, and it's really hard to see which side he's going to be on.
So focus is good.
Going to be on. Yeah.
And then the thing is, sometimes when the guy crosses over you, your double tap turns into one direction, and then they cross over and it goes the other direction, which is why I think he just ended up letting go like that. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, he spent meter to keep himself alive in this round, a round that looks like it's almost out. Well, it ends up being that way, but he didn't give up. And it ended up being very close.
Yep. And again, it's just one of those situations, one of my favorite aspects of discussing fighting games like this is the mental aspect. When you were up 4-2, it looked like you were playing really well.
Yeah.
And then Nemo gets it to 4-3, I should say, and then takes this round. It's easy to get nervous in this kind of situation and start playing badly, but you can see here Poongko still playing very strong, and every once in a while he's going to go for those Seth craziness.
Yeah, look, he has to go for mix-ups. Yeah, that's every character.
Yeah, and especially Seth.
Yeah, for sure.
It's nice that he's playing more careful, but if you're still not taking advantage of Seth's awesome mix-up potential, you're using Seth wrong.
Right.
That's just the best way to put it.
I do feel like we're seeing a lot of him just standing at great ranges and reacting to things, not feeling like he needs to go in at every moment.
Yeah, his distancing and spacing has improved so much.
Mm-hmm.
And you see right there that whenever Seth does EX uppercut into FADC forward dash, that's always like, long time ago, that's Seth 101, time for mix-up. And Poongko did forward dash and then back dash.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. he just didn't want to play that game. That's a restraint that we haven't seen from Poongko before in the past.
Ooh, man, he waited even.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now look at him just zoning full screen.
Sitting on a long
playing away,
mirror,
yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, man, I don't know. He's had some good pressure on this. I mean, obviously Nemo's defense right now is really
right.
Nemo has really good defense, so it's a unusual kind of defense. It's more active than most people's, but it's very strong. So I'm impressed by Poongko for cracking it like he does.
Yeah, I mean, you have to do a lot of chasing to chase down Nemo like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he picked his moments, and he got that instant overhead kick and was able to take it. So
look at that. And just cautiously from the front, no big deal. Maybe he had an option select in there, but nothing big.
But God, yeah, you are so right though that jump strong. He has landed at least like 7 or 8 of them already in this match. It's pretty ridiculous how on point that he's being with that air to air. He's just looking for that, and he knows Rolento's a lot of his options, stinger, the little the back hop and stuff, all put him into the air. So he's just chasing him down every single time.
Yep, the read. Well, a little bit too far for a close close fears, yeah.
Got the priority on that roll.
There you go.
Oh, again, that jump strong, yeah. That time the accidental far fierce worked out. And see,
in a down jab. Right?
Yeah, in a down jab instead of another uppercut.
Right.
Or an SPD or something, he just down jab,
And notice he almost always just does Dragon Punch FADC when he has 3 bars for the actual safety. Dragon Punch by itself, there's that block I mentioned before.
Right.
Dragon Punch FADC toward is actually not safe. EX Dragon Punch is. So that's really the only time you see him use that escape option. Just a couple of other times.
And then this is the biggest.
Look, it's Rolento. What are you gonna do?
It's like what?
It was a little bit early, but still, that would have hit almost every other character.
So unfortunate, but look at that! Just sucks him in off of the back hop. Great read again from Poongko, air to air, and here comes the Seth. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't even spend the meter to keep it
just
going.
All safe stuff.
And there it is, calling that out. Oh, man, what a round. What a round for Poongko. And that's going to put him at tournament game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so as soon as Nemo got to 4-3, and then, like I said, he took the first round of that 8th game. And, if you pause the game there and ask a lot of people like who has the momentum, who's probably going to win now, a lot of people probably would have said, well, it looks like Nemo's kind of getting in there. But since then, Poongko has rattled off 2 wins in a row, and you can see 6-3.
I just really like when he backdashes and resets the situation. He's confident enough in his spacing and his ability to get back in. Yeah, that's pretty good. That, moving backwards to reset is a good option for him.
Oh, and he wants that perfect.
Look at Nemo just wipe his eyes.
Oh, that was a look on Nemo's face.
Oh, yeah, you got me.
He was just like, oh.
You got me.
It's one of those situations where if Nemo goes, man, this character, he's like, no, you're using Rolento. You can't say anything. Oh, man. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's so good.
Again, when did he do EXDP? It's when he had 3 bars. So either make it safe on block or get the big damage on hit.
Right. His meter management, that's really, really, really important. It's like I said, that one time he could have kept pressure with Fireball FADC, which you see a lot of sets do. He didn't bother. Yeah,
and now he has huge positional advantage.
And he was just standing there for a second there. He was just not even... He was just playing that game, and then just.
And I love the trap.
Yeah,
that was a KO situation, inevitable death.
Yeah.
Nice setup by Poongko to take it. Our Kappa Poongko won CPT Asia.
What a pose there, dude! I like that. That was a great pose that he had.
So I think he's really good.
Yeah,
I really do. I used to really not like watching him play for years.
I remember. Yeah.
Now I like watching him play. I feel like he's one of my favorite players, to be honest.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember when the last Ultra patch dropped.
Yeah.
And a lot of us were talking like, oh, Poongko actually seems to be playing less crazy. Like a lot of people would kind of like, tease us because we kept saying that over and over and over again. But it's panned out. I mean, it really has, and you can just see how much he's grown and. We're just gonna keep saying it all day. He's grown a lot as a player. So,
but what do you think could be a pitfall for him when it comes to Capcom Cup?
The only thing that I could see really as a pitfall for him is if the pressure kind of gets to him a little bit and he reverts back to old Poongko.
Yeah, I don't think that it's gonna be a sort of pressure situation. He's been in enough of these big things now. CPT Asia was in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah,
and of course,
true.
Evo 2011, he got third place.
That's true.
And he plays to the crowd. I feel like he feeds off.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing for him to be in those big situations. But I do still worry sometimes that he overextends a little bit. Awesome in that set. I just loved the spacing. Meter management was good. Reactions were good. Mix-ups were not overly committed, but there are still some times when that happens for him, and that can be dangerous in a 3 out of 5 set.
Right, and to be honest with you though, if he does avoid that, I mean I should say that's what he has to do to win Capcom Cup.
Yeah. Is
if he can just avoid that. If he can keep playing this Poongko that we're seeing here right now, even in this Nemo match where he has to chase this Nemo all over the place. And, I would say even in a match where it's warranted to go a little more crazy because of the opposing character, he was more composed than he was in matches that we've seen him play in 2014 against, in matches that he should be composed, So it's just, he has been playing so strong, and if he keeps doing this, I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be one of the strong contenders for taking Capcom Cup.
I think you're right, and Capcom Cup is quite soon now, and he just won one of the biggest tournaments of the year, a tournament that you have to qualify to get into in the first place. So it's all good people.
Yeah,
qualify. And they play a round robin.
And then a round robin, yeah, exactly.
And he came out on top after all of that situation. So the fact that he did that, I think, is a real good sign for him headed into Capcom Cup.
Yeah, so I see no reason why we won't, like most people won't expect him to do super well at this tournament. I expect him to go very far. And
that character's pretty good too.
Yeah, the character's really good, but I really like how he's playing, so yeah, I expect a deep run for Poongko here.
All right, well, that'll be at Capcom Cup, which is the weekend of December 5th through 6th at the PlayStation Experience. Highly recommended that you check it out. It's going to be good. It will be live at twitch.tv/Capcom Fighters.
So definitely follow them on Twitter and on Twitch to get notifications and updates on everything that's going on for the Capcom Pro Tour.
And if you like hearing about this kind of thing, where we talk about stuff related to matches and player analysis and all the good, the meaty stuff.
That's right.
Then head on over to our stream and channel, twitch.tv/UltraChenTV and youtube.com/UltraChenTV.
Yeah, you'll find a lot of videos where we, research new techniques or try to test out sorts of things, and then also a lot of good videos there for beginners on really basic topics as well. So we run the whole gamut there. Definitely check out a lot of the archives on the YouTube channel.
All right, well, thanks a lot for joining us, and we'll see you at Capcom Cup.